Hi, my name is Kathy Mercado, and this is my final assignment in English 353. I will be talking about 5 books in children's literature that can be used as a history unit in the classroom. This video will address a nonfiction children's literature component focusing on the civil rights movement during the 50s and 60s. Every student should know about this part of our history. They should be familiar with names like Rosa Parks, Malcolm X, and the person I will focus on today, which is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. It would be best to utilize this lesson in the 3rd to 5th grade classroom, as there's some complex words and ideas and the subject matter contained in the books. Students in this range are part of Erickson's industry versus inferiority stage. The students at this age care about school, they like to learn, and they like working in groups. Also, they're in Paget's concrete operational stage, which is seen by the student's ability to use logic to reason about concrete events and classify them into categories like good and evil. Lastly, the students are part of Kohlberg's conventional morality stage, where they're able to see themselves as individuals as well as part of a group. They will be able to see what group they might have been a part of if they were living in the 60s during the civil rights movement. Another important factor is that this stage they have compassion and concern for what others are going through. The first book is titled My Brother Martin, A Sister Remembers Growing Up with Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. It was written by his sister, Christine King Ferris. This is a picture book geared towards older elementary school age children. One of the strengths of the book is its illustrations. We can see from this picture that the family's happy to welcome Martin into their lives. His sister writes, I was born sooner than expected, and they placed me in a drawer that stood in the corner. My family lived with my mother's parents and aunt. While we do not put babies in drawers today, it was not uncommon during that time when Martin was a baby. Students today might find it shocking that they hear that the baby's first bed was a drawer. The book also gives a picture of family life at the time with extended families living together, all under the same roof. Martin Luther King's dad was a minister, and Martin followed in his father's footsteps. The second book is also written by his sister, Christine King Ferris, and the name of the book is March On, The Day My Brother Martin Changed the World. This has wonderful illustrations also. What I liked about this book is even though there's a lot of words on the page, things that are important are in all caps and bold and in color. This says, with love in their hearts, not hate. I like that. It reminds me of Jesus. This is a great book because the story humanizes Dr. Martin Luther King and makes him more of a regular person trying to do something extraordinary. The next book that I chose is another picture book, although written by somebody else. It is called A Sweet Smell of Roses by Angela Johnson. The illustrations in this book are incredible. They're pencil drawings. And the only color we see is a highlight of red. This is a story about 2 girls that sneak out of their home. They follow a group of adults, and before they know it, they're listening to Dr. Martin Luther King say, "We are right. We march for equality and freedom." And the girls join the march. They pass by some white people, including some white children, and they hear him say, "You're not right. Equality can't be yours." As a side note, I think that would be a great discussion for children to understand that sometimes they take on their parents' views without really feeling that themselves. The strength of this story is that it gives students a look at history through the point of children's eyes. Next, I picked Judge for Yourself, Martin Luther King Jr. by Christine Hatt. One of the things that I really liked about this book is that it's part of the World Almanac, which means there's important events and dates included chronologically. One of the strengths of this book is that it includes information on different important people and events during the time. It's a chapter book that gives students the opportunity to learn about Martin Luther King's early life, slavery in America, his ministry, and the movement in Birmingham. The other thing that I liked is that at the end it gives topics for the students to discuss. Nonviolence, was it effective? Civil rights legislation, was it a success? One of the things about this book, there's not illustrations, it's actual pictures and history. It makes it come alive. And for a student that might struggle with reading comprehension, the pictures definitely tell the words. I do think this book should come with a warning because, like this picture here, it can be very graphic and disturbing. The fifth book is titled The Assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. by Jacqueline Ching. It opens with a picture of his tomb at Freedom Hall in Atlanta, Georgia. It talks about how he moved a generation and helped change American society. This book also includes several other things of interest, like his cover of Time magazine. Also, the FBI flyer that put James Earl Ray on the 10 most wanted fugitive list. And I used 3 books that were picture books and 2 books that were informational. All of them talk about his character of peace, love, nonviolence, and change for everybody. We know that he chose good over evil, and he was revolutionary. While it's true that we made strides in our country, we should not forget that racism is still happening today. Education is going to be part of our solution. I hope that you enjoyed this. Thank you.